All right, let's dive into something pretty incredible today. We're going to talk about this amazing, often overlooked power that you have over your own health. We're talking about the direct line, like a hotline, between your brain and your immune system, and more importantly, how you can consciously pick up that phone and help your body fight off illness. So, first things first, let's start with a question we can all relate to, right? Why does being sick feel so uniquely, utterly miserable? You feel that first little tickle in your throat, that wave of, oh no, and you know what's coming. But have you ever really stopped and wondered why it feels so bad? The answer is actually fascinating. You know the feeling, you're exhausted, you have zero appetite, everything and everyone is annoying, and all you want to do is curl up in a ball and be left alone. Well, it turns out this isn't just a random bunch of symptoms. It's a very specific, motivated state that scientists actually have a name for: sickness behavior. Now, to really get what that sickness behavior is all about, we first need to understand how your body defends itself in the first place. I want you to think of your immune system like this incredibly smart, three-layered fortress. It's designed to keep invaders out and to fight them off if they ever breach the walls. So layer one, those are your outer walls, your skin, the mucus in your nose and throat. They're like the first line of defense, trapping germs before they can even get in. But if something slips past, layer two kicks in. These are the rapid guards, your innate immune system. Think of them as the general security force, your white blood cells, that just attack any foreign invader on sight. And then if the threat gets really serious, your body deploys layer three, the elite spies. This is your adaptive immune system, and it is brilliant. It learns the enemy's identity, creates these little most wanted posters called antibodies, and remembers them forever. So if that same bad guy ever shows up again, your body is ready for it. Okay, so what happens when those alarms go off inside the fortress? Well, that's when your brain takes center stage. It launches a very specific program designed to help your body win the battle. And yeah, this is the program that makes you feel so lousy. And here is the key idea, that sickness behavior isn't just you passively suffering. No way. It's an active, deliberate strategy orchestrated by your brain. Your brain basically hits the emergency brake on normal life to divert every single ounce of energy to fighting that infection. So when your immune cells down in your body spot an intruder, they send these urgent signals up a major nerve pathway straight to the brain. And your brain, like a general in a command center, starts issuing orders. It says, turn up the heat, that's your fever, which helps cook the invaders. It says, lights out, making bright lights feel painful, so you'll find a dark room to rest. And it makes you feel deeply, profoundly tired, so you'll conserve every last drop of energy for the fight. It is a full-on survival strategy. Now, for the longest time, we thought of this as just a one-way street. Your body gets sick, it tells the brain, and the brain makes you feel awful. End of story. But some absolutely game-changing research is showing us that we can actually flip that switch. We can consciously use our brain to actively support and even crank up our immune response. This is a huge shift in thinking. The old model on the left, that's the passive route. Infection happens, you feel sick. But look at the new model on the right. This is you becoming an active participant. By consciously activating your nervous system, you can basically tell your brain, hey, let's deploy a stronger, more efficient immune response, which can actually reduce how sick you feel and for how long. So the big question is, how do we do that? How do we consciously turn this system on? Well, one of the most powerful, scientifically backed, and totally free tools you have at your disposal is something you're doing right now: breathing, but with a very specific technique. Okay, check this out. In a landmark study, researchers gave volunteers an injection that reliably makes people feel sick, fever, headache, the whole thing. But one group practiced a specific breathing protocol beforehand. The results were just incredible. They found that they could voluntarily turn on their sympathetic nervous system. That's your body's fight or flight response. This released a flood of adrenaline and seriously reduced the inflammation that makes you feel sick. They literally felt less sick just by controlling their breath. So what is this protocol? Well, it's a type of controlled cyclic hyperventilation. Here's how it works. You start by taking about 25 to 30 deep, powerful breaths. Then, after that last one, you exhale all your air out, completely empty, and you just hold it for as long as you comfortably can. Then you take a big breath in and repeat the whole cycle a few more times. You're intentionally putting your body into a state of high alert. The science behind it is actually really simple and elegant. This intense breathing pattern basically sounds the alarm in your body, triggering a massive release of adrenaline, also known as epinephrine. And adrenaline is one of the most powerful natural anti-inflammatories your body has. It essentially tells those first responder immune cells, the ones causing all that initial inflammation, to kind of calm down, which lets the more precise, special ops parts of your immune system get to work more effectively. But these physical techniques, like breathing, they're only part of the story. It turns out there's another incredibly powerful lever we can pull, and this one is located entirely in our minds. Our very thoughts, our outlook, can act like a pharmacy for our immune system. Just think about what it feels like to have genuine hope, to truly believe that things are going to get better. That feeling, that powerful sense of a positive future, it isn't just a nice psychological state to be in. It is a direct biological command. Your belief in a good outcome can send incredibly powerful signals from your brain all the way down into your body, directly influencing how quickly and how well you heal. So how on earth does this work? Well, a sense of hope and optimism actually activates the dopamine pathways in your brain. That's the same system that's all about motivation and reward. And unbelievably, studies are now showing that turning on this system can directly reduce inflammation and speed up your recovery. So this isn't just positive thinking fluff. Your mindset can literally change your body's chemistry to help you heal. So the big takeaway from all of this is that your role in your own health is so much more than passive. Through intentional things like specific breathing techniques, and by genuinely cultivating a hopeful mindset, you can directly talk to and influence your body's defense systems. You have so much more agency than you probably ever imagined. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? If we can consciously use something as simple as our breath and our thoughts to mobilize our most ancient biological defenses, what other incredible capabilities are just sitting there, dormant, within this mind-body connection, waiting for us to discover them?